My name is Sheila McGee-Smith, and I am an industry analyst who has been covering the contact center market now for 35 years. I'm here at Nice World, the newly renamed Nice World, with about 3,000 of NICE's friends, partners, analysts, press, investors. Today I'm going to be speaking with Arun Chandra, who is the Chief Operating Officer here at NICE. So welcome.
Thank you, Sheila.
So we're going to get right to our questions, Arun. So first, you are pretty new here at NICE.
Yeah, about 6 months, yeah.
6 months.
Which is not that new, but yes.
Well, everything's relative.
Yes, it is.
Compared to the 35 years I've been doing this, okay. So your previous employer was Disney.
Indeed.
As we sit here in the Walt Disney Swan and Dolphin, right? Tell us, why did you decide to make that move from Disney to NICE?
So I spent 4 years modernizing, transforming the CX function for the Disney streaming business. And one of the major pillars of our strategy was the technology stack simplification. And so during that time that I was there, we simplified the technology stack and standardized the entire stack on NICE. So over that period of time, I got to know the company pretty well and really appreciated the benefits that we got from the product and the technology. And more importantly, I really appreciated the people that I got to know and the culture of the company. And so when this opportunity came up, being familiar with the company, the people, the products, and being familiar with the CX space, it seemed like a very natural decision to make, and hence here I am.
Okay, so you made a transformation at Disney. Do you see an opportunity for transformation here?
Yes, in two ways.
Okay.
One is sharing the lessons learned, both good and bad, during the CX transformation that I led with customers that I'm interacting with these days. So sharing sort of what I did at Disney and the good and the bad, and that is one way that I'm helping other customers of NICE be successful in their transformations. And the second is, as part of my responsibilities, I'm also responsible for driving the internal AI transformation for NICE as a company. And so there's definitely applicability on both sides of the equations.
So I was going to ask you about AI, as it is the moment that we are in.
Indeed.
So I've started using it in my work life.
Yes.
You know, I'm certainly an aging boomer, but so I probably came to it a little later than some. Tell us, how do you use AI in your day-to-day workflow?
So my use cases are very much that any research that I need to do, whether it be when I'm meeting with customers, when I'm meeting with software partners, our other partnerships that we have, any kind of research that's required, I always turn to the slew of tools that we have available inside the company between Claude, ChatGPT, and then of course I have my own personal subscription with Gemini. So I use all the frontier models that I have, and I will use that for research. I will use that for writing notes and memos, as well as I'm using on the Gemini side, I'm using it a lot for planning my internal private personal things as well. So there's a whole range of ways that I'm using it to drive my personal productivity as well.
So there's a lot of companies who do, sort of Cisco on Cisco, Google on Google.
Yes.
Meaning using the products that the company has. So can you talk to us a little bit about what you may be doing differently using NICE products and what your role might be internally as somebody who is like an early adopter?
Very much so. I'm glad you asked the question. That in my portfolio of responsibilities, I also have the IT function of the company. So the CIO and I partner very closely together as part of my team. And when I joined the company, we set out an objective to make sure that we were using Cognigy for NICE inside the company. And I'm very happy to share with you that we have successfully completed one major use case, that our entire IT help desk now runs on Cognigy. And we are working on a second one that I will talk about once it's done, so that we know it's done, but it will be more externally facing use of Cognigy on the NICE website.
Interesting. And so what about new product development? How might you be, involved bringing that into the business?
Actually, Jeff would probably be a better person to talk to because he's responsible for the product development,
Understood.
if you
Understood.
would. I know he's actively using all kinds of AI tools as any software development team is would be today, both Cognigy as well as other tools that are available. But I think he would be a better person to speak to that.
Well, good. I like the fact that you don't own everything, right? No.
I'm glad too.
Well, it's interesting. I feel like I'm a person who knows a lot, and I'm very okay saying when I don't know something.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
not my remit, but there's a great guy I could turn you on
Yes,
to. Absolutely,
yes.
absolutely. So, if you think about this last 6 months that you've been here at NICE, what would you say is the biggest change, the biggest impact that you've had on the business?
I think the biggest impact that I've had is to build out a great team.
Sure.
We have several new leaders that we brought into the organization. I would say related to that is the early days of a new culture that I'm trying to build within my own team and across NICE. A culture which is more bottoms up, more collaborative, basically focused on driving innovation and improvements across the entire organization. So I do feel that the team, the culture that we're trying to build is probably one of the things that I'm most proud of.
So it's interesting that you say that bottoms up. I started my career at AT&T, very command and control environment, and I can see how making that kind of a shift is, and feeling like you're doing it successfully would be a real.
And so we've established certain team approaches and principles, if you would, and one of the most important ones to me is #OneTeam. And so no silos, we need to operate as one team. At the end of the day, we are here together to serve the customer and drive success for our customers collectively.
Okay, finally, do you get a chance to talk to customers about how you're using NICE and how they might use NICE? Or if you do have conversations with customers, what are those about?
A lot. I mean, in fact, more than I expected. But
Okay.
what has happened is that as people in our sales organization have come to know my background, they have taken me to multiple customer calls because customers are on different stages of their transformation journey, and less of in a sales effort, but more in a sharing best practices.
Wow.
And so I've spent a lot of time talking to numerous customers about my experiences, both the good and the bad, and ensuring that we are sharing their experiences with them very openly, and so they can then make the decisions of what they want to do, regardless of the technology platform they choose, although we would absolutely prefer if it was NICE.
Absolutely. So that reminded me very much of what Cisco's John Chambers used to say, that companies would come to him just to ask, how are you doing it?
Yes.
How are you doing things so well?
Right.
And so you're now that kind of expert in our industry.
I appreciate the analogy, but I think John Chambers is in a completely league of his own.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you so much. It's been great talking to you.
Likewise. Pleasure, Sheila. Thank you very much.
Thank you.